Who are you without your title? The modern identity crisis. The hook and the lie. Start with a fast, urgent tone. Stop. I have a deeply uncomfortable question for you. If you stripped away everything you use to define yourself, your job title, your relationship status, the car you drive, the city you live in, who is left? Did that question make you feel a little naked? A little nervous? Good. Because that nervousness is the sound of the modern identity crisis. It's a quiet hum of anxiety that follows us everywhere, a feeling that we're constantly auditioning for a role we never wrote. Maybe for you, it's the pressure to be the perfect parent, where every school bake sale and soccer practice feels like a referendum on your worth. Or maybe it's the relentless pursuit of that next promotion, the belief that a corner office will finally make you feel whole. We tell ourselves these are goals, but they've become cages. The truth is, most of us are walking around wearing a costume, a list of borrowed labels we confuse for our actual self. We've become addicted to these titles. It's a subtle addiction, not one of substances, but of external validation. Each new label, manager, homeowner, marathon runner, gives us a temporary high, a fleeting sense of being enough. But the high never lasts, and that confusion, that constant chase for the next hit of validation, is draining your energy and stealing your peace. For me, it happened when I lost my biggest label. I was 25, and I was absolutely certain I was going to be a corporate lawyer. It wasn't just a career path, it was my entire identity. I chose my clothes, my friends, even my hobbies based on what a future lawyer be doing. My entire self-worth, my entire personality was tied up in that title. Then I quit. Or maybe I failed. Doesn't matter. The title vanished. The future I had meticulously planned evaporated overnight. Suddenly, I was an empty suit. The structure that held me up was gone, and I felt myself collapsing inward. People would ask, "So, what do you do now?" And I couldn't answer. The question felt like an accusation. I'd stammer, deflect, or just say, "I'm figuring things out," which felt like admitting I was nothing. I didn't know who I was without the script I had been following. Here's the massive lie we all bought into. We think that if we gather enough titles, enough achievements, enough external markers of success, we'll finally become enough. We believe our identity is something to be constructed like a building, brick by brick. But those labels are just crutches. They're not the foundation, and when they inevitably break, you collapse. This video is about dismantling that lie. It's about trading the fragile scaffolding of achievement for a solid foundation of self. I'm going to show you the 3 fundamental steps to separating your identity from your achievement, so you can stop chasing titles and start living as your actual, grounded, and unshakable self. Pillar 1. The funeral of the fake self. The unbecoming. The first step on this journey is about acknowledging who you are not. For years, maybe even decades, we are so busy building the version of ourselves that we think the world wants to see. We construct this fake self from the expectations of our parents, the pressures of our jobs, and the perfectly curated highlight reels we scroll through every day. We become so good at playing this part that we never stop to ask if it's a character we actually like, or if we're just performing for an audience that may not even be paying attention. The truth is, maintaining that mask is exhausting. It's a constant, low-grade hum of anxiety, a fear of being found out. To truly move forward, you have to hold a funeral for that fake self. This isn't about being morbid, it's a ceremony of liberation. It's a moment to formally and respectfully say goodbye. You have to acknowledge the grief of letting go of the identity you chased for so long. That persona, that mask, it served a purpose. It protected you, it helped you navigate the world, but its time is over. So here is your first actionable tip. I want you to create an identity obituary. Find a quiet space. On a piece of paper or in a new document, write down every single label that has controlled you. Be brutally honest. Think of things like the overworked employee who always says yes, the perfect Instagrammer with a flawless life, the family peacekeeper who buries their own needs, or someone who never ever fails. As you write, don't judge, just observe. These are the titles you're retiring. You are writing the final chapter for that person. They served you, they taught you, but they are no longer your commander. Read the list aloud, acknowledge the role each label played, thank it for its service, and then let it go. Now, for the final crucial step, Destroy that paper. Burn it safely, delete the file and empty the trash, or rip it into the smallest possible pieces. This is not just a symbolic act. This is your declaration of independence. This is the moment you create a vacuum, a space for your true self to finally breathe. Now, for your second tip, the acknowledgement mirror. For the next 3 days, I want you to start your morning by looking at yourself in the mirror. But instead of checking for flaws, I want you to simply make eye contact with yourself and say, I am letting go of who I thought I should be. That's it. No pressure, no grand pronouncements. Just a quiet daily reaffirmation of your commitment to this process. You are planting a new seed in the space you just cleared. Pillar 2. Define yourself by values, not achievements. If you define yourself as a CEO, you panic when the company struggles. If you define yourself as a husband, you panic if the relationship ends. Titles are temporary scaffolding. You need an unshakable anchor, and that anchor is your core values. A CEO can lose his job, but he can never lose his integrity. A partner can break up with you, but they can't take your compassion. Actionable tip. Find your top 3 non-negotiable values. Not what sounds good, but what you actually live by. Mine are curiosity, integrity, and growth. Use them as a lens. Ask yourself, am I acting like myself right now? Translates to, is this action aligning with my value of integrity? Is it in line with my growth? Your identity becomes a daily practice, not a destination. Pillar 3. The joy of the undefinable. We have an intense fear of ambiguity. We think if we can't be easily categorized, we're doing something wrong, that we lack focus or direction. Society loves neat boxes and clear labels, but the most interesting, successful, and truly content people are often the ones you can't easily label. They are the multi-hyphenates, the programmer who is also a celebrated baker, the lawyer who restores vintage motorcycles, the teacher who guides meditation retreats. And they have discovered that the space between labels isn't a void to be feared, but a playground to be explored. It's where your unique combination of passions and skills can finally breathe. So why do we cling to these labels so tightly? The need to define ourselves with a job title or a single role is just our ego looking for validation in the eyes of others. It's a shortcut to belonging, a way of saying, see, I have a place, I am legitimate. But this external validation is fleeting and fragile. We need to shift that entire system inward, finding our sense of self not in what we do for a living, but in who we are becoming. Actionable tip 1. The label-free hour. Before you commit to a full day, start small. For the next 60 minutes, whether you're on a call, sending an email, or meeting someone new, consciously avoid using your professional title. This isn't about being evasive, it's about being more present. Notice how it feels. Does it make you uncomfortable? Does it feel liberating? This small window is a powerful diagnostic tool to see just how attached you are to that single label. Actionable tip 2. Practice a full, label-free day. Now expand the practice. For 24 hours, actively stop introducing yourself by your job or role. When someone inevitably asks the classic, "So, what do you do?" resist the autopilot answer. Respond with a curiosity, with a slice of your current reality. Try something like, "That's a great question. I'm still figuring that out, but right now I'm really passionate about learning to draw." Or, "Lately, I've been working on being a better listener for my friends." The moment you respond with something honest and human, something that has nothing to do with your paycheck, is the moment you give yourself permission to be whole. And even better, the other person gets to meet the real you, not just your resume. Conclusion and final challenge. So, here's the summary. You are not your job. You are not your past failures. You are not the person your partner wants you to be, and you are not the person social media thinks you are. The most profound journey in life isn't about becoming something bigger. It's about unbecoming everything that isn't you, so you can stand in your true self. If you want more videos designed to break through the cultural lies that hold us back, go ahead and subscribe. It's the easiest way to tell the algorithm you want growth, not distraction. And now, for the challenge. Be brave. In the comments below, what is one label you are ready to let go of this week? Let's start the unbecoming together.